And so with that, we're going to start with Alan and William, who will be presenting on a pair of targets. Please take it away.
Thank you so much. Two devices that we're going to be popping today. So this first one is called NINJA3047V9. This is like a 9. It's been like EOL for like 9 years already. Of course, like with routers, like for a lot of people, it's like mundane targets. But we're going to be demonstrating 4 different exploits against this. We're going to chain them together in hopefully like very interesting ways. So hopefully they all work today. And I'm just going to mirror this. Settings. Okay. All right, first things first. This isn't a default state right now, so I'm just gonna change the password real quick because I'm gonna do testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Okay, apply, then testing 1 2 3. Oh. Hopefully the password changed. So testing 1 2 3. Nice. Okay, so the password's changed, and the first bug we're gonna demonstrate is I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. I'm gonna be doing everything presentation style on a text file. So yeah, we're gonna do that today. The first thing we're gonna be demonstrating is an auth bypass. This is very interesting because like they have like this whole protocol with UPnP and like a customized protocol with UPnP. And it turns out like there is a SOAP action called setconfig password that just lets you change the password. And I'm really surprised nobody like talked about it. I went on the internet and was like really like deliberately searching for like vulnerability disclosures about this specific message, and nobody really like talked about it. And it's something that we're going to demonstrate as part of the first exploit, you can say chain. So we call the first one bash sledding, and immediately off the bat, we're just going to do the auth bypass with that message we talked about. Let me sign back in again, and the password now changed to 1 2 3 4. Yeah. So that was like a really simple one, and we're gonna actually use this as like a building block for the other things.
First blood.
Yeah. So we're gonna use this as like I guess like a building block for a lot of the other things we want, because we want to be able to bypass auth in order to reach things that are vulnerable to memory corruption. So part of the bash sledding chain we're gonna demonstrate is this BFF buffer overflow that we pivot to a stack buffer overflow, particularly in the SOAP message that is doing authentication. The BSS overflow is actually an end day, but not a lot of people who exploited this realize that you can actually let the response parsing continue, and once the authentication check continues, there's going to be a way to pivot it into a stack overflow, again, sprint stack overflow. So we're just going to let this continue. The first thing that's going to happen, this is going to take a little bit of time, we're going to have to restart UPnP. The reason why is because at the very end of this exploit, we're going to start telnet D, and turning on PPPoE mode actually disallows the firewall, certain firewall rules, and we'll actually be able to telnet in. So we're going to let this very quickly restart, and in the meantime, I'll talk about this a little bit more. Of course, like we're going to have to use the auth bypass first to be able to make sure the authentication checks are correct in order to hit the overflow for this particular message. At the very end, it's a very trivial stack overflow on MIPS. And the idea here is that we're going to want to be able to use ROP. We're going to use 2 libc ROP gadgets, one to be able to gain control of A0, and then one that then gives us the ability to offset the global area pointer exactly to system, and then we jump to it. And we're going to wait for this a little bit more to restart. It takes a little bit of time to restart. So, but okay, I'll just continue. Basically, the idea, we want to basically want to call system, and one of the things that is a challenge in this is that we want to be able to store a null terminated string somewhere, and it turns out there's not a lot of places we can do it easily. NVRAM is mapped into memory for some reason, and we decided to actually put our payload there. And to do this, we actually use the main blocking feature with our auth bypass to be able to kind of spray this onto NVRAM. And it looks like we're crashing. So I'm actually gonna break glass a little bit and use this to restart UPnP. VRAM. So we're getting spaces such that we land on a space and then might be landing on somewhere in VRAM, and it might have other data there. So we want to pad it with as much spaces as possible, such that this remains a valid command. Okay, UPnP started, and I'm hoping we're good to go. I'm going to do this. So we can't turn it in yet. And let's look at exploit.
You have a white Honda SUV in the hotel parking near the generator. It needs to be moved.
Sorry about that. I'm going to reset state real quick. Okay.
This is the tension unique to live hacking events.
This is the tension, yeah. Okay. I think we're gonna try this again. Uh-oh. No. Let's try this again. All right. We have to restart this again. Sorry, guys. Okay.
Raise your hand if you've been up late at night debugging your exploits, anyway. It's a great crowd.
Clearly,
Don't
we're in
worry.
the field zone.
We know.
But yeah, so part of this is that we do want to be able to restart UPnP when the exploit, I don't know, like when the binary dies. And it takes a little bit of time for it to come back up because it actually has to kill a bunch of processes. If you turn it into like a different mode, it'll need to like kill and respawn certain processes for that. So we're gonna run this normally now, and we're gonna let this restart. Can I get a quick time check out of you?
You got 11 minutes left in your time slot.
Okay.
You got some bonus time. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Oh, please, Lord. Is it stuck? Uh-oh. It's like stuck there. What's that? All right, we got to restart. Actually, I'm going to let this restart, and then we can maybe try this again later. We're going to go to the next one. I talked a little bit about a domain blocking feature. And let me check this real quick, because, okay. Oh my God. I don't want to update this. All right, we're gonna skip that one. We'll do it later if it works out. We're gonna try to hit this one. This is basically a Stack Overflow and this domain blocking feature. Basically, I mean, we have our payload there already, but basically the idea here is like you have a lot of these sites you can block. And it turns out that if you add a bunch here and you retrieve it, once it retrieves it, there's a very trivial Stack Overflow. And part of the exploit here is we're gonna reuse the same two like raw gadgets pretty much that we used in the first one. So we're gonna make sure that we actually put a lot of we'll make sure we clean up everything that's already in there, and then we just add a bunch of our content to that list. And then the idea is we trigger the Stack Overflow with another UPnP message. That message will grab everything that we just added there, and then yeah, let's see if this works. Oh my God, that works.
Hey!
All right, off to a good start. Okay, so yeah, like we're in there. I'm gonna kill my telnet session, but pretty much, a little more straightforward with this one. We use the auth bypass, spray, trigger the overflow, 2 gadgets, one to give us A0, give us back our A, and then a second one that just takes us straight to system, right? Very nice and simple for that one. And we actually don't keep things in NVRAM. There's actually somewhere on the stack that allows us to keep a no terminated string. So yeah, all right, goodbye to the show. And we're gonna let this restart again because it's dead. So we gotta wait for that out, hopefully be really quick. In the meantime, we're gonna talk about the last one. This one is a little more interesting. Basically, during the process of parsing like SOAP messages, this right here, this body tag, I guess you can call it, is actually, there's no like bounds check being imposed on it. So it actually overflow into this global variable called CPU request. And what's very interesting is like this global, like there are shell commands that are adjacent to it. And those shell commands you can trigger through another UPnP SOAP action. And like they're all like the first one right there is PPPD, and then the one following it is like this ping commands. And however, like we kind of talked about in the previous kind of exploits, like there's not a lot of places to put your null terminated string. So the idea is that we found another binary that's unused on the firmware, and this one is called BPA monitor. And there's actually a command injection in that client binary. Like this doesn't listen on anything, but this is like a binary that I don't think people use anymore as far as I'm concerned. There's like this very simple command injection there. Like there's this NVRAM get BPA username, PPA password, and you just throw a command injection there. But in order to reach it, we want to be able to launch it. So the idea is like we use our BSS overflow to very partially corrupt whatever's at address 0 that points to PPPD, and then we instead point it to BPA monitor. And this is really nice because, if we want to do like telnet D and all of that, like we have to find places to put all of these null terminated strings, and that was like kind of challenging. So the idea with this exploit is we want to launch another binary and then use that to be able to trigger another bug. That makes our life a lot easier. You don't have to corrupt a lot of memory to do that. All right, it should be up, even though it says it's not up. And actually, before we continue, I want to try this one though. I'm feeling good. All right, this one. Oh, no, yes. Yes. Okay, confirmed again. We started telnet D. All right, goodbye. All right, actually we have to restart. We prefer to restart, and then we're gonna do the other one. But yeah, pretty much this one I think is the more interesting one, basically, because we're able to like do like this whole command injection thing just by corrupting a one pointer. I don't know what to ramble on more about this one, so we gotta maybe wait for this to come back up so we can demonstrate.
I think restarting's a theme with these old devices. How old is that device?
This right here, like I said, it was a EOL for 9 years. The last firmware update is 2016. So yeah.
Also, props for doing memory corruption on MIPS. I feel like that's
2 gadgets. Like that was really good. Like finding like 2 perfect gadgets to help with everything. Like we don't have to do the shell coding. Don't need to deal with like the instruction tags or anything. So yeah, let's demonstrate the last one. So for the last one, we're gonna need to do another restart. So the reason why we need to do a restart is right now the router is in PPPoE mode. And everything like right here, like when I talked about how we're corrupting into PPPD, the only way to be able to reach our ability to call that function is we can't be in PPPoE mode. Like if there's already a device, a network device there, a network interface called PPP0, like we're just not going to be able to execute that command. So we actually have to set ourselves back to DHCP mode, restart UPnP, and then be able to kind of do the whole dance in order to like do the whole thing. And I think that the restart for this one should be a little more quicker than whatever was going on for the other ones, which was being weird. But yeah, so yeah, we're going back to DHCP mode. We're starting. Hurry up, hurry up. And for this one, we're gonna make head in. Let's go. Yeah. So I can see BPA monitor started up because of our, like, we corrupted, and actually like BPA monitor is going to start another command, which is BPA login. You can kind of see we have this payload that we sent in earlier. And the way we actually have to do that is, let me go back to here to show that really quickly. First, have to send a few different messages in. So our exploit payload here, we have to send this SOAP message, and then later, after that setup, we can do our overflow, point it to BPA monitor, and then do our final command injection and stuff. All right, nice. We got a little obstacle in the beginning, but it's all good. All right. Yeah, thank you guys so much.